Philadelphia News, team of my heart.
You've been fearing the worst about the Sixers and that Noah 3 pick, haven't you? Another trade disaster, another missed star. But hold on, because what's happening now is the opposite of what scares you. Big Sixers news, real trade talks, and it might be the smartest move yet. You've been here before, haven't you? That sinking feeling in your chest when you hear the word trade attached to the Sixers, especially during the draft, because you know what that's meant in the past: heartbreak, missed chances, watching future all-stars thrive somewhere else while Philly's stuck chasing band-aid fixes, and busted plans. But breathe easy for a second, because this time, the Sixers news sounds different. It's a trade rumor, yeah, but not the kind that yanks the floor out from under you. Not the kind that tosses away hope for a quick fix. No, this one might actually make sense. For once, the front office isn't looking to throw away a lottery blessing. They're trying to build something lasting. You've been waiting, begging for this team to stop mortgaging the future just to patch the present. And now, with the third overall pick staring back at you, that pain of wasted potential, it might finally be behind you, because the word coming out now is that Philly's not trading down far. If at all, they want young talent. They want foundation. They want someone who can actually grow with Maxey, McCain, and the next era of this team. Now, let's get into it, because this draft isn't just another one. It's special. It's loaded. And when you're holding a top 3 ticket, you don't just tear it up. You use it smartly. You've heard the names Ace Bailey, VJ Edgecombe. These aren't just kids. These are future cornerstones. Guys who can run, shoot, defend, create. Guys who can change what this city expects from its basketball team. And sure, the voices are still out there, those talking heads saying Philly might trade the pick. But you're smarter than that. You've read the reports. You've seen Mark Stein's latest Sixers news. The real plan? Keep the pick, unless a perfect trade shows up. Not reckless, not panicked, strategic, balanced, the kind of decision you've been pleading for. And man, doesn't that feel different? Doesn't it finally feel like someone upstairs gets it? That you can't keep flipping young pieces for aging vets and expect it to work. You saw what happened this past season. You saw how thin the depth ran when Embiid missed time. You saw the dead weight behind Maxey when the lights got brightest. So now, when you look at the 2025 NBA draft, it's not just a hope, it's a turning point. You've been screaming for years: get younger, get faster, get tougher. And this is that shot. With pick Noah 3, you can add someone who actually matters 5 years from now, not just next week. Think about that. Maxey still isn't at his prime. McCain just landed. And if this pick hits, if it's Ace or Edgecombe or anyone in that tier, suddenly you're talking about a real, sustained core. Not just a run-it-back team. A run-it-forward squad. And look, this front office hasn't earned blind trust. You know that. You've been burned. But when the Sixers news lines up this clean, you've got to pay attention. You've got to see the shift in tone. This isn't desperation. This is positioning. Of course, the rumors aren't over. The word trade is still in play, and that'll always spark a little anxiety. But think of it this way: you're not watching the Sixers shop a pick out of panic. You're watching them listen, evaluate, and unless someone offers a haul, that pick's staying right here in Philly. And that's how you build something for real. You don't just collect names. You stack fits. You think long-term. You surround Maxey and Embiid with people who can run with them now and take over later. You build layers. And maybe, just maybe, that's finally the play. There's no perfect solution. You know that. Every draft comes with risk. But standing still, that's not the move either. So this draft, it's not just about the Noah 3 pick. It's about how the Sixers treat it. And from what you're seeing, they might actually get it right. And let's be real, after everything you've endured as a fan, Doesn't that give you a little spark of hope again? But hey, let me ask you, if you were in charge, would you stick with the third pick or trade down just a few spots if the deal's right? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you do, because you know how this story usually plays out. You've seen the front office fold under pressure, chasing quick fixes, headline splashes, and half-baked contenders. You've seen talent slip through their fingers like San Miguel Bridges, Drew Holiday, even Jimmy Butler. That's the pain, right? It's not just about losing. It's about what could have been. So when you hear trade rumors, your first instinct is panic. You feel it in your stomach, the fear that someone up top still hasn't learned the lesson. But now, something's changed. This time, the Sixers news isn't a slap in the face. It's a crack of light. A sign they may finally be listening to what you've been yelling for years. Because this no 3 pick, it's not just a draft slot. It's your chance to start fresh with a legit young core. Think about it, Tyrese Maxey just had a breakout year. Jared McCain might be the sneaky steal of this class. And if you add someone like Ace Bailey, who can run the floor and light it up in transition, that's 3 blue chip pieces under 24. That's your future. That's your shot at actually building a team that grows together, not one that constantly reshuffles the deck. You don't want more retreads. You want a squad with identity, hunger, fire, a group that can look Boston, Milwaukee, and New York in the eye and not blink. And let's talk about Ace Bailey for a second. You've watched the tape. He's not just some flashy athlete. He's 6'9" with insane bounce, a smooth jumper, and legit upside as a two-way wing. That's what the league runs on now. Wings who can guard multiple spots, knock down shots, and break out in transition. You've begged for one, and now he's sitting there possibly at 3. Or maybe it's VJ Edgecombe explosive, aggressive, fearless. A 2 guard who can slash, defend, and flat out compete. You saw how much this team missed that toughness in the playoffs, right? The Sixers looked soft on the wings, slow-footed, reactive. You bring in Edgecombe, and that changes immediately. And don't overlook this, you're not just adding a talent. You're changing the timeline. This draft pick gives you control. You can afford to be patient with a young guy because you've already got Maxey carrying the weight. You're not asking this rookie to save the franchise. You're asking him to grow into it. That's huge. Because what kills teams isn't bad picks, it's bad timing. Rookies expected to be stars on day one. Young guys tossed into dysfunctional locker rooms. But with the right player, the right system, and the right vets around him, that's when something real starts cooking. And yeah, it's true the Sixers aren't completely shutting the door on trades. But if you're reading the Stein report right, and I know you are, they're not looking to ditch the pick. They're looking for a partner who might want their guy at 3 and would let Philly move down a spot or 2 while still landing a top-tier talent. That's chess, not checkers. That's what good teams do. You don't just pick, you negotiate. You maximize. You create leverage. And if someone like San Antonio or Charlotte calls because they have to get their guy, then maybe Philly adds a second rounder or a future pick and still gets Bailey or Edgecombe anyway. And that's why you need to stay locked in. Because this isn't just about June 25th. This is about everything that comes after free agency, trade season, the new CBA. You need young talent on cheap contracts if you want to build around and buy it and still have room for a potential Paul, George, Brandon Ingram, or even, dare I say, Donovan Mitchell type move. The rookie scale deal for a top 3 pick, that's gold under this new salary cap system. And you know, Daryl Morey understands that. So if they're standing pat, if they're leaning into youth, then finally, this team might be building smart. But let me keep it real with you. This move is going to define the next 5 years of Sixers basketball. You either hit on this pick and set up a second wave of contention, or you fumble it and waste Maxey's prime. There is no in between. And that's why you can't look away. Not now. Not with this much on the line. Because you know this team is so close to getting it right. And if they just hold their nerve, if they just trust the pick, they might finally give you the team you deserve. So here you are, less than a month away from a draft that could either set you free or break your heart. You feel that, right? The tension, the possibility, the weight of all those years where the Sixers had the picks, had the chances, and somehow still missed Dot. But now, you've got this pick. Noah 3, a gift you didn't expect. A lottery bounce that for once didn't go against you. And it's sitting there, full of promise, just waiting to be used the right way. That's why this matters so much. That's why you can't afford to zone out now. Because when you think about everything this city's been through, from the process years to the Simmons disaster, to another early playoff flameout, it's exhausting. You've been loyal. You've shown up. You've cheered. You've believed, even when belief felt impossible. And now you're asking the front office for one thing: don't screw this up. That's the pain. Right there. You just want it done right. You're not asking for a miracle. You're asking for logic, strategy, vision. A pick that makes sense not just today, but next season. And the one after that. Dot. And that's why these new Sixers news reports matter. Because the vibes are different. The trade rumors, they aren't reckless. They aren't chaotic. They're calculated. You've got a front office that seems to finally understand young talent isn't a luxury. It's a lifeline. You need someone who can step in and give Maxey and Embiid support now. But more importantly, be a star when those guys need help in 2, 3, 4 years. That's the kind of move that stretches your window. That's how Boston did it. That's how Denver did it. And that's how you can finally build something lasting here in Philly. So whether it's Ace Bailey's skywalking highlights or VJ Edgecombe's aggressive, gritty edge, you're looking at guys who could be yours. Not for a season, for a generation. And that's a gift you can't trade away unless the return is undeniable. And you know what else? This pick gives you leverage. It gives you a hand to play when free agency hits. Imagine bringing in a big-name vet who knows the Sixers just added a top rookie. Suddenly, Philly becomes a place stars want to play again. Because they see it too. The shift, the structure, the future. But again, you've seen what happens when they panic. You've watched the franchise swing and miss before. And that's why you're watching this draft like a hawk. Because it can't be business as usual. This pick is sacred. It's not bait. It's not a shortcut. It's the foundation of what comes next. You've got a core that's getting younger, deeper, faster. Maxey is becoming the guy. McCain is already stealing headlines at camp. You add a Noah 3 pick to that mix, and now we're cooking. Now you're starting to believe again. And look, whether you want Ace, Edgecombe, or someone else, you've earned the right to care. You've stuck around. You've stayed loud. You've worn that Sixers gear through the dark days. So this isn't just a team decision, it's your moment too. Because you, me, every single one of us who's bled for this team, we all want the same thing. A Sixers team that doesn't just talk about rings, but actually builds toward one. Not in theory. In real, tangible moves that pay off when it matters most. Dot. And if the Sixers hold firm, if they use this pick to add a star in the making to a rising core, that's the move that gives you hope again. That's the one that makes it all worth it. So don't look away now. Stay close. Because this off-season, it's not just about big names. It's about smart ones. It's about finally giving you a team that honors the time and emotion you've poured into this franchise. So here's what I need you to do. If you care about this team like I know you do, hit that subscribe button right now. Smash that notification bell so you never miss another Big Sixers update. And let's keep the pressure on together. Because you deserve to know first when the Sixers make the move. That changes everything. This is your team. This is your moment. And the next chapter? It starts with you.